So, according to the Sprout Man here, there are chemical changes that take place during fasting, and it's divided into 3 stages. The first few days of your fast is primarily devoted to body reorientation, he calls it. Your system starts to change the pH of your stomach upward, making it more alkaline. The stomach contracts and the digestive tract is cleansed. Here also you will experience the most dramatic weight loss. Water, minerals, especially sodium and potassium, and water-soluble vitamins are heavily excreted in the early days. Protein loss is up to 75 grams a day in the beginning, while only 18 to 20 grams later you may experience hunger, headaches, lightheadedness, or sweating, and you may have to urinate a lot. Bowel movements may come daily or never. So that's the first couple days. During the second phase, the liver starts to purge itself of its chemical and toxic load, throwing off these poisons into your bloodstream for elimination. Now, this is the one that sounds super fun. You may experience nausea, exhaustion, diarrhea, muscle aches, nervousness, shortness of breath, trembling, all the symptoms of the flu. Your tongue will coat. You may develop bad breath, body odor, and/or skin eruptions. Basically, your body is battling the pollutants as if you had just consumed them. Poisons sting twice, once on the way in and again on the way out. This could be anything: illicit drugs, prescription medicines, food preservatives, artificial flavors, agricultural pesticides, or the products of cooking or bad food combining. The process of natural healing often involves briefly getting worse before you get better. During the third phase, deep tissue cleansing begins. Blood toxins are removed and cellular ash and debris are flushed from the kidneys. The third phase combines some of the symptoms of the first 2 phases along with bursts of energy. So that's at least something, because it doesn't sound very, when you read that, it's not like you go, yes, please sign me up for that. I can't wait to feel all of those things, maybe all at one time. Gradually, you'll gain a total feeling of well-being. This is the period of organ detoxification and regeneration. It's a mixed bag. You may experience euphoria or stress, irritability, or improved mental attitude and self-esteem. So that's a magical grab bag of crazy. Who knows what you're going to feel? But I'm hoping for some feelings of well-being. I don't know. The saddest part about this is, and I think this is what we've been talking about, is that I don't know when the last time is that I've had a feeling of well-being. Do you remember the last time you just felt completely well? You had no complaints? Because I mean, not that I just want to whine all the time, but I can't remember. I mean, there are days when I wake up and I'm real stiff, I feel sore, my back hurts, there's a crink in my neck, I didn't sleep well. I mean, here and there I get a little headache sometimes. I mean, there's just not a time I can think of where it's like, I am totally well now, I have no issues. Like, there's always seemingly something. And we are totally breeding a sick society. I mean, I even saw a study just the other day that was something about how, because we talk about the allopathic medicine systems all the time, promoting itself on commercials and all this stuff, and everyone is just, it's constantly like, people have been trained to talk about how sick they are and think of themselves in terms of health all the time, and so they're always thinking of themselves as not being well.
That has an effect on you too.
Exactly. Yeah, there's a whole mental game there. So I think because intention is invention, so you can make yourself ill just by thinking about how ill you are all the time. But on the flip side of that, I'm not sure I really know what well is anymore. I don't know what's a total sense of well-being like.
I mean, I don't know that I've had a day of no complaints whatsoever, but the first day of spring, just the other week when I went out and worked in the yard building the garden beds, and I was in the sun for several hours, I was exerting myself and working hard towards something that I really wanted to do, and I felt compelled to do, and like it was going to be a good outcome, and towards something important. I had a very good sense of being from that, and I felt physically good.
Did you have any aches and pains, or?
I felt very
No, you
physically
felt good
from being in the sun. Well, I mean, I wore my hand down from using tools, and I was
Yeah,
tired
but
and
that's not what
thirsty,
I
but
mean.
I had a very deep sense of like I have I'm working towards accomplishing something. I felt physically good from being outside in the sun and working towards something that was overall healthy. I mean, that's probably not exactly what you're talking about. It's not like I went inside and, had no complaints and everything was perfect in my body, but for a few short hours, I felt very radiant in the sun.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's what they talk about with all this juice fasting stuff, that after a few days you feel this sense of euphoria. You get over the hump of detoxification, you feel euphoric, but I'm nervous because I've had years of abuse on my body, and so I feel like, I mean, years of abuse of putting myself into the allopathic medicine system and trusting that system, all the drugs and stuff they gave me for different various ailments they told me I had, which turns out were all diet related issues, that if anyone in any of the years that I went to doctors had just said to me, this is a diet issue, you need to stop eating, for example, gluten was for me was a very big one. That's something I can't eat. It makes me really sick. And so if someone had just said that to me, it could have saved me probably my gallbladder, which I don't have anymore. Could have saved me a lot of things. And so when toxins start coming out, like I'm nervous about this because I feel like I probably have a lot of stuff going on, because I mean, I took a lot of medications for many years in my 20s, of all things, because I was told by doctors that I needed to do this, and I trusted that system, and I didn't look any further into it, really, because I trusted that people who are doctors, who have gone to school way longer than me, they should know what they're talking about, right? Which is what the average person does. And it wasn't until I solved my own problem there. And so I know I've probably got a lot going on, and I'm nervous. So,
Well, we could do it. I mean, the first day had its own challenges.
it wasn't as bad as it was the last time, because I don't think we did it right the last time, honestly, because I didn't drink enough water. First of all, that's a big one. I didn't drink enough
either,
water.
and drinking a lot of water helped, because it's
Helped
true.
a lot. Drinking
Helps to
water
flush
helped a
out.
lot.
That lady's
So-
website was right. Apparently, what she said was the toxins in her, the bloodstream, and the water helps to cleanse it out. And that does appear to be true based on the experience of drinking more water in addition to the juices. You drink the juice, and a short time later you drink a considerable amount of water.
Yeah, see, the water helped a lot. So that's, first of all, definitely the water. And I think also just drinking it on a... Because last time we drank one big juice, it's like I drank it all, and then I didn't have any for a long time. And I think we just didn't drink enough juice.
Today we had a new juice on average every 2
couple of
hours.
hours.
Yeah, 2.5 hours.
Every couple of hours, every 2.5 hours, we had juice. And then I didn't... Except the big one on camera, those big ones, I do drink them pretty fast because the taste is not my favorite. But some of the ones that we had from Juice Land that we went and got, which we're going to have a video about that later, those ones, they have their boutiquiness of them.
They tend to be flavored and specialized.
They flavor them
and tasty.
because the combinations they come up with are way better.
Yeah, it's
than
all
what I
natural and
came up with.
organic, but it's very recipe oriented.
Yeah, they have good recipes, and so I was able to drink that and not drink it as fast, and I think it helped me not, because we didn't even drink all the juice that they gave us.
Maybe that's my perspective. I consider a master juice just everything good that I have on hand.
Yeah, it's everything good. Aaron's master juice is like, we have all of this, we will put it all in the juice. Which is awesome, because you get all these things that you probably would never, like, sit down and have a plate of all all those vegetables, right? But the taste is not, I mean, the lemon and ginger go a long way for the taste on that, and the turmeric, but other than that, it's like, I usually just try to drink it and then forget that I drank it. Well, forget that I had to taste it. I try not to taste it, actually. It's really bad to admit. But it's not horrible. Like, actually, you get used to it. Like, at first, when Aaron was having me drink all these things, I was just choking that stuff down. So I was just like, ugh, make it be over. But I knew it was good for me, so I just kept mentally, I was like, I can do this, just drink it. Because when I was a kid, I couldn't drink things. If it was nasty, I would spew. Like, I could not make myself drink things, even if I knew it was good for me. Now I can do it, but the juice has, over time grown on me. But it can be pretty tough sometimes, that mix. And the juice land is like they put like a few things, a couple things in each juice instead of like everything in a master juice, which, the master juice, though, later after you drink it, it makes you feel, I drink the master juice. It's pretty cool, but the taste is not like, here, take a big glass of this because you want to drink it and taste it.
That's true.
You don't want to taste it. You just want to feel it later. So, but I think the mix is good. I mean, we're fortunate because we have Juiceland, which, is reasonably priced. Because I was looking into, juice cleanses that people order online and stuff, and some of the ones, especially the ones coming out of New York City, my God, I don't know how anyone affords it.
But at least they have that option.
They have that option if they can come up with $150 a day to have that option. I mean, it was insane. I was like, who can afford this? Just go buy some vegetables, for crying out loud. It's not that big of a deal. So, I don't know. I think we can do this. I think it'll be okay. I don't know. I'm hoping for some mental clarity. I'm hoping that this helps me reset my sleeping schedule, which is all kinds of jacked up, honestly. We do not sleep right in this house. And so we need to fix that. And I'm hoping that, I can start to realize, because I do have some eating habits which are just stupid and don't make any sense. Like, I'll be typing away on an article or something, and I'll just start eating snack food type stuff, or something, rice chips. I like rice chips a lot. I'll just start eating them, and it's not even because I'm necessarily hungry. I think it's just because I want to taste things or something, or I'm bored. I'm not sure. So I'm hoping I can take stock of that stuff and stop doing it, because I'm probably about, let's just be honest, I'm probably about 20 pounds overweight, I would say.
It's very interesting to be divorced from eating when you still have that drive. I mean, I got hungry today. I was in the kitchen. I helped prepare food for the kids. And we joked about it, but I started making that soup stock because it's very healthy, and it's a liquid diet thing too. And I'm thinking about having that on day 3 and 4 over there, and 5. But regardless, I want to have that as part of my regular diet when we do go back to eating solids. But I'm so used to always eating on a daily basis. I really enjoy eating good foods.
You have to remind me to eat.
I try to eat healthy, but, I have to admit, I enjoy well-prepared healthy foods and occasionally eating stuff that's not as healthy. And it's just definitely different to make the conscious choice not to eat food.
It's really hard. Especially around dinner time. That's when it got really bad tonight, was around dinner time. Because I was just like, oh my God, I want to eat. I just want to taste, I want to chew. I want to chew something. See, and that's what I wonder. Is it a mental thing about wanting to feel the chewing sensation of something in your mouth?
Well, it's very deep because the chewing triggers the saliva. The saliva helps your digestion. I mean, it's all linked in at the body level, but also the psychological level. And I guess we're going to learn about ourselves.
I guess so. We just got done watching videos of people who juice fast for 100 days. And we're sitting over here like, oh my gosh, we're going to juice fast for 5 days. But I will say this. Good on those people, that's awesome, but they don't have kids. When you have kids, it's much harder to do things with food because you have to also be around the food your kids will eat. And it's not like my kids eat crap. We do organic food in this house, and we try to eat healthy for everybody. It's not like I eat healthy and give my kids crap.
Kids aren't exactly volunteering for a plate of vegetables.
Well, kids aren't going to eat it. No, they don't. Yeah, exactly. We have to make a really big deal about the magic trees to get my kid to eat broccoli and everything like that. So we have a whole thing, but Yeah, they did the 100 days, and they were like, "Look at me now" and everything, and they were cool about it. It's not like they were bad people or anything, or trying to show off. It's just, yeah, they juice fasted for 100 days.
It's a pretty incredible challenge. I mean,
I
they
think it's
tested their
great.
bodies to the limit.
I would really like to be able to do it for 5 days, and you know, I don't know. Not trying to be a whiner. I'm. It's weird. We get into these bizarre habits because we live in this construct where we've been divorced from so many things. We've been divorced from our purpose. We've been divorced from our spirituality, and we've been divorced from what it is we are supposed to be doing when we eat food. Like, what are we doing when we eat food? I mean, what is the purpose of food? It's not supposed to be because it's all greasy and salty and it comes from a fast food drive-through and someone threw it together as quickly as possible. Food used to be a very spiritual event, in ancient cultures. And it was a big deal. There's a reason people prayed over it. I mean, there's a whole thing with that. And when you take a nutrient into your body, it becomes part of you. And it's like, we've been divorced from all that. They don't even teach you how to eat. They give you some ridiculous food pyramid that looks like a bunch of trained monkeys came up with it. In the back, it just drew it with crayons or something. And it doesn't teach you anything about how to eat. No one teaches you how to eat for your health of your life. It's just, I'm not even saying this guy knows what he's talking about in this book. I'm just saying this is a book I got.
There's a lot of different schools of philosophy.
I thought it was an interesting book.
I try to respect them. The food pyramid's like a system that knows there's corruption, that they're covering for the system, and they're still trying to have maybe a little bit of good faith for people if they dare to figure it out.
I mean, this guy right here, the Sprout Man that wrote this book, I'm not saying I know him or endorse his book. It's just a book that I bought because I saw the read the inside on Amazon. And I thought it looked okay, so I got it. But he had a lifelong chronic health condition and severe allergies, asthma, and all kinds of stuff. And so he went on a 2-month living foods vegetarian diet, and all of his symptoms for everything he had disappeared. And so that started his whole thing out, and he started writing books and doing all this other stuff. And started a no-cooking school, and all kinds of stuff he did after that. So, I take this with, a grain of salt. No pun intended. This is just somebody who did it. And this is what happened for him, and now he's saying this is what I know about it, But I would like to get the toxins out of my body. I would like to decalcify my pineal gland. I would like to figure out what's really going on with all of that, because I think there's something to be said for how much they're trying to fill everyone full of chemicals and toxins, and there's obviously something else for that. It's not just here's all your bag of toxins, go have fun with that. There's a reason.
It's very spiritual and physical.
Absolutely. So anyway.
Well, that's probably good for tonight.
I'm gonna go to sleep.
Yeah.